I don't know.
Wow.
We're on camera now, Stan.
But it goes nowhere.
With who? Me?
Everybody that's been,
Did you see that?
well, yeah, it's
I
only
think
addressed to
I think he
five
should
city
reach
council
out
members.
to Howard Jakubowski and Nicole Schneider.
Like, God only knows what happened to severely injured Howard. Who knows?
Wow.
So we were leaving on this.
Are we doing this proclamation first?
Yes.
Okay.
And the mayor
Before.
has one too.
Who's this? Okay.
How you doing?
Hi. It's all craziness.
Always.
Good. How are you? How Jason Carr.
Now I'm gonna-
Nobody responds to me. Of course we know. Because you call us all such terrible.
Maybe that's what he wanted.
I have the recorder on, so
Yeah, we
I
figured.
wanted to make sure I did it right.
Yeah, I told Stan to be careful down there. Shut my phone off.
Yeah, this guy wrote him from prison. It's hysterical. He committed a terrible crime and I don't know. It's just nothing. Really, their letter says nothing.
No.
It's just like
I said, I hope he sent Howard and Nicole one. Because they seem like
Lisa did.
they seem like the wrong party. And now you know I'm going to go home and Google his name and the whole article.
Yeah, I
And
wish I would have to go in. She was taking it. Just check the docket number.
It's not written.
no. Oh, I don't disagree with you there. I think, I mean, I would say somebody did if I read that.
Hey, look at that. No, it's
Just don't know why he sent it to us.
Punctuation is good.
Exactly, it's just the Oxford.
Yeah.
Fixing the clock, I see.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Almighty and everlasting God, who presides over all things in heaven and earth, come and preside over these deliberations so that those that make the decisions may be guided by your wisdom.
Amen. Roll call. Mr. Barrett is excused. Mr. Brooks? Here. Mr. Marin?
Here.
Mr. Belishko?
Here.
Mrs. McClay?
Here.
Also in attendance is Controller Tony Thomas, Administrator Charlie McCormick, City Attorney Tim Henry, Administrative Assistant Lisa Sanfilippo. Good evening. Welcome to tonight's regular session of council. Please turn off all cell phones. Following are examples of some important council rules. They are not intended to be a complete list. Please adhere as closely as possible to the 5-minute speaker presentation time limit. No persons are allowed to address the council from beyond the rail, except the speaker at the dais who has the floor. The chairperson shall preserve order and decorum and prevent attacks on personalities. The chairperson shall determine all points of order. No persons except city officers or their representatives shall be permitted within the rail during any time without express permission of council. Council kindly asks that the public please vacate the building within 10 minutes after the meeting adjourns. And finally, when members of the administration are speaking, please use the microphone. We have a presentation from Councilman Marin and from the mayor.
Is that my letter?
Yeah, that's your letter.
This is to honor Mrs. Lebecchio for her years of service serving downtown, and tell her Dick and Walker and Boscov.
Run it.
You're good right here. Ready? Okay. Whereas Elizabeth Liz Lebecchio retired from Boscov Department Store on May 8, 2026 after 56 years. And whereas Liz began working at the downtown department store known as Fowler, Dick and Walker, the Boston store in 1970. And whereas Liz worked in the shoe department and Missy's Clothing, which led to decades at the courtesy desk. And whereas Liz will celebrate her 88th birthday tomorrow, May 29, 2026. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of Wilkes-Barre City hereby congratulate Elizabeth Liz Lebecchio on her retirement from Boscov's department store. I have another side note here. Now be resolved that the city council recommends Liz never fold a sweater, another sweater again unless she's absolutely has to.
Liz, ditto from the mayor. You know, we got a special proclamation, basically laying out the same background for you from the mayor. I apologize he couldn't be here, but Liz, you are the second favorite person that I know. Second favorite. Next favorite. I know. I've known you for many, many years. You are a wonderful person, well deserved, and just always blessed. Well deserved. Thank you.
Pending.
Public input on pending legislation. Come on up, Linda.
Linda Joseph, Wilkes-Barre. Just a question on the hiring of the lawyers for the sewer system. Do we know how much that's going to cost? I don't see anything in the resolution. Or are they like PFM, don't get paid until if something happens? Or just wondering what the cost would be and where the money would come from?
No, they won't be paid like PFM. The hourly rate is what's known as the blended rate, so it's reduced, and it's $4.85.
And do we set a cap on it, or we don't know how much?
No, because we don't know how long
many
we're gonna
hours?
need them.
Okay.
If the decision, if council and the mayor decide not to sell it, they're discharged at that time.
Okay.
If it continues on, obviously, they'll still be
longer.
doing work for us.
Okay.
So it just, there's certain triggering events that can end the relationship, but there's no set cap.
Second. Okay, thank
There's
you.
no fee, it's just they're paid for the work they do, correct?
Yes.
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 Anybody else?
Okay, now we'll need a motion and a second on the consent agenda.
Motion.
Motion by Mrs. McClay,
Second?
second by Mr. Belishko. Mr. Brooks?
Yes.
Mr. Marin?
Yes.
Mr. Belishko?
Yes.
Mrs. McClay?
Yes.
And we need a motion and a second on the agenda, consent agenda ordinances. Consent agenda ordinances, motion and a second.
Those two are done.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Belishko.
Sorry.
Second by Mrs. McClay.
Are you
And
two
Mr.
here?
Brooks? Mr. Marin?
Yes.
Mr. Belishko?
Yes.
Mrs. McClay?
Yes.
I was trying to get you to say smoothly. Okay, that's all the business. Council presentations.
That's okay. Mike's?
I'm
No,
good
no,
today.
No, Tony, you're
All
up.
right.
Nothing since Tuesday, thank you.
Stan?
Nothing since Tuesday.
Same here.
Same for me. Jeepers.
Linda.
Public discussion. Linda Joseph, you're up.
Linda Joseph, Wilkes-Barre. I know that Councilman Brooks mentioned on Tuesday about the situation with the business on Hazel Street with the garbage collection, and I just wanted to give you the details, because I did talk to the owner also, and this is what he told me, that for 2 weeks, he put out his 1 or 2 blue garbage bags with the stickers, and they weren't picked up. And so he looked down the street, and everybody else's was picked up. So he called, talked to Davy Lewis, and Davy informed him that they would not be picking up garbage from any commercial properties from now on, because that was the ordinance that they were going to now enforce. And he said to them, but I've been doing this since 63 years, and we've never had an issue. Also, probably a major part of the garbage that he puts out, whether it's 1 or 2 bags, is he hires a man who comes every day, picks up all the garbage out in front of the store, on the street, so he's helping keep the area clean. So he said, so that's what he was told by Davy, and the fact that now he's going to take the garbage home, so he's not going to buy stickers, so of course we're going to lose some revenue. Also, he told him that a letter would be sent about this to all of Hazel Street. And Hazel Street, most of those businesses have apartments upstairs. So are they not allowed to put out bags from their own garbage? Because they're apartments, they're different than the business. So he was, made some suggestions as to maybe there could be some exception to the ordinance, or, if it's a small business. And honestly, I can't think of a business really, or too many in this city, that have been here 63 years. And Angelo's across the street, 66 years. So those are probably two of the oldest businesses in this city that have been here. He tells me he brings in 100 or more people a week that come from everywhere to the jewelry store. And so he has stood by Wilkes-Barre, and he's proud to be there. So those were the details, and thinking that maybe there could be something done, since it is that long of a time that they've been there, and they are so small that they don't generate a lot of garbage. But I also checked and looked at the ordinance, and Tim, you can probably check this out, but from what I saw, the ordinance for garbage was established in 1986. They were there since 1963. So wouldn't they fall into a grandfathered position if the ordinance didn't exist when they did?
Well, I would assume that there was some kind of ordinance that regulated garbage before then. Maybe that was repealed in its entirety and replaced in '86, but it doesn't make any sense that they had no garbage regulations in the '70s or in the '60s. So I would have to look more into that.
Yeah, the municipal code, that's what it says, 86, and some changes made in the early 90s. But yeah, there may have been something, but it's just that, we need to show them support. I get it, I get the commercial businesses and whatever, but they're one of the oldest places, and also Bedwick's Pharmacy and Angelo's in that one block. Yeah. You've got 66 years, 63 years, and Bedwick's is on 28 years. So I'm just wondering if there's something, if it is not grandfathered, then if there's something that can be done just to make an exception in certain cases or whatever. And since he is trying to help clean up Hazel Street and paying the man to do it, just a thought that maybe something we can do for him that that would allow, them to continue to have their bag or two picked up. And that's all.
Now, Linda, related to your question about places that are commercial on maybe the first floor and have some apartments above, I haven't looked at their garbage ordinance in quite some time, but if my memory's correct, I think that would depend on how many rental units there are. If there's over a certain number, you would have to have a dumpster for your tenants.
5.
If it's less, you'd
right.
put the bag.
It was 5 units, okay. Like an apartment building, I guess, basically. Right. Yeah, you're right. That did say that also. So, but that's saying that, and I don't know if they were abusing what was happening on Hazel Street and those other businesses, but they could be putting out a lot more garbage than they should be, too, I would think,
Yeah, I don't know what's going on up there specifically.
Yeah. Thank you.
So I looked at that ordinance as well after our meeting, and I agree with Linda. Is there some way we can look at that to include the businesses that don't generate a lot of garbage? Because
sure, we can always look at it and tweak it if that's what,
obviously, like Angelo's needs a dumpster, and they probably get theirs dumped weekly. The Nate Jewelers wouldn't have their dumpster maybe every 6 months, so it doesn't seem, right. And I don't even know if they'd have a spot to put it.
Well, we can certainly look at it, sure.
Like exception for like mom and pop businesses.
Right, certain businesses, whether, they come down and get a permit, or some, we should look at something, because I don't think they generate enough garbage to warrant requiring they get a dumpster or a private hauler.
Yeah, like restaurants would be different.
Correct.
Bodegas
They're generating
would be different,
tons of garbage.
But a pharmacy,
a little corner store.
Corner store, yeah, might be, I think it's certainly worth looking.
Well, they're not abusing it.
All right, yeah.
Sure.
All right, perfect. Mark that.
Linda, please tell Mr. Dave, that we appreciate that he keeps Hazel Street clean. We really appreciate that. Obviously, if all the businesses did that, we'd be a clean city.
Yep, you're right.
Can I follow Linda? Jamie Smith from Wilkes-Barre. I'm just checking in from a couple weeks ago. I was here about West Ross and the utility work. So that day that I was here, that morning, 7 o'clock, they had blocked off the street and torn up the street, and they left a bunch of construction vehicles overnight. And I had come to council and just asked what was the ordinance, or is there any sort of plan for all these trees that get cut down between South Main and River. I think there's about 9 or 10 either stumps or left where there's no tree. I don't know if anybody had a chance to look at that West Pittston ordinance where they take a very minimal, I think it's like a $5 permit to cut down a tree, and then the deposit. And if you don't put a tree back in within a year, then they use that deposit. You forfeit the deposit and they put a tree back in. Anyway, so the next morning, the street was blocked off at 6:30 a.m. and jackhammers and everything were going. And I went down and talked to a very nice guy from the subcontractor. But he said that for what they were doing, which is opening up the street and pulling meters out of the basement and putting them on the outside of the houses, they did not need a permit for UGI to do it. I asked to speak to a UGI guy who was there and just said, do you guys notify neighborhoods, or how does this work? When's the work going to be completed? Is it going to be repaved and all that? And it's safe to say this guy is not in the public relations department. So I ended up later getting a call from his boss who said that he would not be speaking to the neighborhood anymore, but so he said, yeah, they do need permits for that type of work. So I don't know if you guys have any idea of, is there something in place to just notify a block? Now, the administrator told me that they, if they were doing work on the main line or something that affected everybody, they would let people know. And I said, well, blocking the street, leaving construction vehicles on the street the week of graduation in downtown Wilkes-Barre, where people normally park overnight, they left a truck in front of somebody's active driveway with their car in it overnight. I had texted them and said, hey, your truck's here. It was still there in the morning. So I felt that maybe they weren't working on everybody's houses, but there were a lot of people affected by it. So just curious if you guys have any sense of is there an ordinance? Is there some kind of requirement to notify neighbors? And then lastly, UGI had said that typically they'll come back and repave within a week, but this might be more like a month or two. And so I was just wondering, is there anything like, will we be notified when that work's being done? Is there anybody holding them accountable to repave the street?
You done?
Sure.
Okay. So I looked, we don't have anything in an ordinance like stating that they have to notify anybody. I did look at that as well. I've been in a route full of the ordinances. But we do have somebody who makes sure that they pave it, right? Don't we have somebody, Charlie?
The permits go in. There are permits. I think we said that before. And after you were here at the meeting, we contacted the utility, and that's why the supervisor called you.
Yes.
Internally to them, they take the position, as long as they're not laying a main line, which in their eyes would shut down a road for an extended period of time, just like a Hazel or Hanover, those type of things. Internally, they will notify the neighbors on that street. Now, neighbors is defined as the affected area in question, not necessarily people who travel there or not necessarily
Right.
people around. That's up to them. We also had met, I think a couple of years ago, council will remember that the mayor, we were having trouble, and we met with the utilities, and that was one of the things that they agreed to do. This apparently was a smaller scale type of situation,
Yes.
disruptive, but at a smaller scale. And they also have a period of time that they have to come back to restore. We've had good relations with the utilities on that. You have to let the soil, et cetera, that they put in to sit
Settle.
down and settle. I think it's a 30-day period, if I remember correctly, for engineering purposes. So they'll be back. They'll have white around it. Usually that repair doesn't take very long, and it's not disruptive to the neighborhood, other than they've got to stop some traffic short. But I doubt if they'll inform the neighbors on that. It's probably so small, I haven't seen it. It's pretty minimally disruptive, but it's there.
Yeah, the on-site guy was really nice, but he also said they would be done just the 2 days. However, the admin guy said the big apartment building at the corner of River and West Ross has something like 47 meters in the
Yeah,
basement.
yeah.
And that he had expected they would come back, it would be into the next week. They never showed up after the 2 days, so I don't know if they're,
My understanding was
historic building and they're not
what I
gonna
call
do
the
it.
Ross Street Apartments, but my understanding is they're having some difficulty with the owner of their accessing and trying to minimize the disruption of that, but that's
Yeah.
all I know about it. So it sounds like they haven't resolved that yet. So they may be back, I don't.
well, it's a tax-paying resident and a customer of some of these utilities.
Yeah.
I don't think it hurts to let people know that you're going to be blocking
Right.
the street off. And it's a busy street, and there's people trying to get to work and, getting up and getting their kids to school, and to block it off and then to be sort of, there doesn't need to be a lot of animosity about it. You could just let people know what you're doing, when you're going to be done with it.
To me, it's common sense, right? There's public relation executives at these utilities that make six figures. Doesn't hurt them to put a flyer on every house on the block. So maybe that's something we need to look at as an ordinance, that they won't seem to do it on their own. I can't understand why they don't want to have common sense community relations with people on the block. So something I'd be up for.
Something,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay.
also
We're hearing it all the
customers, not
time.
like- Unless you know of another gas company that I can sign up with.
Right, right. I know, there's no competition for it.
No.
Yeah.
All
Thank you,
right,
Jamie.
You got anything else?
All right, well, all right,
All
let's
right.
look at that.
Motion to adjourn. Take my note, take it home.
What's her name?
No, but it's, no, you know it's a problem.